British Jews are so fearful of Jeremy Corbyn becoming PM that they would leave the country if the Labour leader rose to power, claims Tory chairman James Cleverly. James Cleverly claims to know many Jewish people who would be out of here. He made the comments after Rabbi Roman urged Jews not to vote for Labour. Poll found 40% of British Jews would seriously consider leaving. By Isabella Nikolic for Mile Online, published 1:33 Greenwich Mean Time, the 3rd of November 2019, updated 1:33 GMT, the 3rd of November 2019. Some British Jews are so fearful of Jeremy Corbyn becoming Prime Minister that they would leave the country if he rose to power, according to a Tory chairman. James Cleverly, who is in charge of the Conservative election campaign, has claimed that he knows many Jewish people who would be out of here if Corbyn came into power. He claims that Jews were fearful of the danger of a government led by Jeremy Corbyn. In an interview with the Sunday Telegraph, Mr. Cleverly said, "These are people who said they have actually looked at going to family in other parts of the world. That is a really horrible thing to hear." James Cleverly, who is in charge of the Conservative election campaign, has claimed that he knows many Jewish people who would be out of here if Corbyn came into power. Mr. Cleverly made the comments as Boris Johnson launched the Conservative election campaign on Wednesday, in preparation for the general election on December 12, and on the same day that Jonathan Roman, senior rabbi, urged his congregation to vote for whichever party is most likely to defeat Labour, as he said a Corbyn-led government would pose a danger to Jewish life as we know it. Rabbi Jonathan Roman has urged members of his congregation to vote against the Labour Party. Rabbi Roman wrote to 823 families who attend his Maidenhead synagogue and said previously, "Never have I dreamt of suggesting which way one should vote, but that this election is different." He said this problem is not the Labour Party itself, but the problem is Jeremy Corbyn, as he attacked the Labour leader's handling of the party's anti-Semitism crisis. And last September, a poll conducted by the Jewish Chronicle found that 40% of British Jews would seriously consider leaving the country if Jeremy Corbyn was elected Prime Minister. A formal inquiry into reports of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party was launched earlier this year in May. As the inquiry was launched, the Equality and Human Rights Commission said it suspected the party had committed unlawful acts in its handling of the anti-Semitism crisis. Jewish MP Luciana Berger, who blamed institutional anti-Semitism when she quit the Labour Party to join Change UK in February, said, "For anyone who might look to play this down, the threshold to initiate this process is extremely high. That the Labour Party has even met the evidentiary threshold is damning." A formal inquiry into reports of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party was launched earlier this year in May. The party has continually claimed it is implacably opposed to anti-Semitism in any form. Mr. Cleverly also added that the Conservatives had learned from mistakes in the last election and had created a network of field campaigners. He claimed he would be introducing more personality to the MP's digital presence, which would be a little bit more humorous. Dr. Roman warned in a letter seen by the Jewish Chronicle, "If you, too, think that a Corbyn-led government would pose a danger to Jewish life as we know it, whether it be utterances that cause Jews to feel victimized, less secure and no longer at ease, or maybe even legislation that restricts Jewish life or relations with Israel in some way, then you may wish to